Hi class, I have an appointment today and obviously I will not be at school. So I made a video that the substitute will be able to follow along with, and our agenda today will be to open your Chromebooks. You'll be working on Dreambox for about 12 minutes. Reminder, if you get 7 lessons done during the week, you will get 5 extra credit points. We will then introduce Chapter 6 on percents, and then we'll go over a few problems that you need to know, and you'll have some homework towards the end of class period. So please pause the video, work on your Dreambox lessons for the 12 minutes, and at the end of 12 minutes, restart the video and we will introduce Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is on percents. We will be talking about both percents and decimals. We will compare and order fractions, decimals and percents, and we will make sure that we know what all of them are, how fractions are equal to decimals and percents. We will talk about how to solve percent by using a proportion. We will also talk about how to find percent using an equation. We will work on percent of increase and decrease. And then we will talk about sales and markups, so discounts and markups. And then we'll finally talk about simple interest. We have a cartoon with our dog and the cat. Here's my sales strategy. I buy each dog bone for 5 cents. Then I mark each one up to $1, and then I have a 75% off sale. Cool, huh? I guess P.T. Barnum was right. Basically, P.T. Barnum was a circus, and so they are saying that anyone can be in the circus. So again, he bought them for 5 cents. He marks them up to $1, takes 75% off, and then he sells them for $0.25. So he's making 20 cents on each biscuit. In our second cartoon, at 4 a day, I have chewed 17,536 dog biscuits. At only 99% pure, that means that I have swallowed 17.5 contaminated dog biscuits during the past 12 years. So since there's just a little bit not pure, we can take that to be almost 17.5 dog biscuits that weren't pure. And the cat says, I hope that logic doesn't apply to mice. In our third cartoon, these are favorite pets. We have dogs at 47%, cats at 46%, and other. The fact that these 2% do not equal 100 is a sad commentary on humans. Others, what else is there? You might think of some other animals that could go in that other, but as a dog and a cat, they basically think that's the only people there. One of the things that we need to know that you probably have already learned is how to write 45% as a fraction in simplest form. Percent is always out of 100, so 45% will equal 45 over 100. We can also simplify by dividing 45 and 100 by 5. We then get 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So 45% is 9/20. Let's try some of these ourselves. See if you can come up with problems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. When we get to number 5, you might have to make it 1 and 48 hundredths. Please pause the video. Allow students to spend about 2 minutes working on trying to get these as a mixed number or a fraction in simplest form. Hopefully you were able to try out the 8 problems. In number 1, we started out writing it as 16 100ths. We could then divide both of them by 4 to get our final answer for number 1 of 4/25. In number 2, we started out writing it as 40/100. We then divided both by 20 and ended up with 2/5. 2/5 is 40%. In number 3, we started out writing it as 68/100. We then divided both by 4 to get 17/25. In number 4, we started out writing it as 85/100. We divided everything by 5 and got 17/20. In number 5, we first off started it writing it as 1 and 4800, or 148/100. The better answer for this is 1 and 4800ths, and then we can simplify 4800ths to 12/25 because we divided both by 4. So our answer for number 5 is 1 and 12/25. In number 6, we start out writing it as 150/100. We then change it to 1 and 50/100ths. 50/100ths is a half, so we get 1 and 1/2. In number 7, we write it as 105/100. When we simplify that, we get 1 and 500ths. We divide both of those by 5 and get 1 and 1/20. In number 8, we write it as 276/100. That simplifies to 2 and 76/100ths. We can then divide 76 and 100 by 4 to get 2 and 19/25. In our last part, we have to write fractions this time as percents. Where we went from percents from fractions earlier, we're going to go fractions to percents this time. We have to write 3/25 as a percent. In order to get 3/25 to a percent, I have to get the denominator to be 100. How did I get from 25 to 100? I multiplied by 4 on the bottom, so I need to multiply by 4 on the top. 3 times 4 is 12, so we get 12/100ths. That equals 25%. So our job in 9 through 16 is to try to get the denominator to be 100. And then that allows us to change the top one because we multiply the same number by the denominator and the numerator, and that will give us our percent. Please pause the video and try to get 9 through 16 as a percent. For number 9, we write it as 9/25. We multiply both the top numerator and the denominator bottom by 4 to get 36/100, so our percent is 36%. In number 10, we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2 to get 86/100. Our percent in number 10 is 86%. In number 11, we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5. That gives us 55/100. Our answer is 55%. In number 12, we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 20 to give us 60/100, or 60%. In number 13, we take 1/4 and we multiply both of them by 25. That gives us 125/100, or 1 and 25/100ths, which is 125%. In number 14, we take 12/25 times 4. That gives us 1 and 48/100ths, so we have 148%. In number 15, we multiply 4/5 by 20 each on the numerator and the denominator. That gives us 1 and 80/100ths, or 180%. And finally, in number 16, we multiply 3/10 by 10 and get 2 and 30/100ths. Therefore, our percent is 230%. 10%. You have the rest of the time to work on your homework, which is workbook 111 and 112. Those are problems 1 through 14. It is the Fair Game Review worksheet that I have on my desk if you do not have a workbook. Please spend the rest of the time working on the Fair Game Review, which will be due on Tuesday in class. Have a great day.